15 different national ski and snowboard associations. A year ago in Garduri, Georgia, it was France that took the gold medal in this event with Julien Thomas and Lea Casta. They also picked up the silver medal as well. Can they repeat the gold medal? And in bronze a year ago, Slovakia with Samuel Sakal and Sara Pitonakova. Different set of athletes, of course, and Slovakia with Sara Pitonakova. Again, this time she's pairing up with Oliver Sebesta. These athletes have been through this morning's heats. Well, most of them have. One or two didn't make it in to the heats. The Spanish team, they're coming in pretty fresh to this one, having not raced. Their athletes not racing earlier today, apart from Andrea C.S. Fidalgo. She did race, but for the majority of the athletes, particularly the favourites, they have had a lot of riding on this course today. It's the end of the season. It's been a long, hard season of Europa Cup, NORAMs, FIS races, and in the case of a few athletes, World Cup races as well. So, mixed team event, how does it work? One male, one female athlete on the course in each team. The males will go first. Whatever the time gap is between the four athletes at the finish line, that transfers to the top. So in the case of France, if Jonas Cholet has 0.3 of a second, he hands over to Lea Casta, who has a 0.3 of a second advantage. So that board will drop first for Lea Casta. And then when we're on to the female leg, it is all about the straight out sprint to the finish. Whoever crosses the line first, and the female leg will take the victory. Same format, of course. Top two teams progress to the next round, starting at the 8 finals. A few heats of three heats of three as well, just with us having 29 teams. France have got 3 teams in the race as well, but Jonas Cholet and Lea Casta will be the favourites. Watch out for the Australians as well. Abby Wilson and William McCarthy could be a good team. That's Australia 2 and Australia 1. Cameron Turner and Maya Billingham. Cameron Turner 5th in the individual. Maya Billingham picking up the silver medal. Well, just running a few minutes behind schedule here. Again, still some work going on, making sure the gate is ready, of course. All needs to be working perfectly for a mixed team event. The course is in pretty good shape. 4 runners have been down. That's why you can see a few ruts on the course there. But everything should be set to go. Now, is this the first heat already underway? It may well be. Just double checking. Yes, that is Jonas Cholet. So apologies, folks. They sprung that one on us. Jonas Cholet in the red bib. He's alongside Lea Casta and Simone Meyer from Switzerland in the green with Stepan Lavacek from Czechia. Watch out for the Czechs. I think they are looking to make amends after disappointing individual competitions. But Meyer putting the pressure on Lavacek from Czechia, but Jonas Cholet showing just how good he was this morning. Exceptional performance again, and he's going to give Lea Casta a huge advantage here going into the second leg. So, Cholet across the line first. Very tight for second and third, though. And that is going to be key. But Lea Casta is going to have a big advantage here. You would think she will have no problem seeing it out. Well, Czechia just crossing the line in second place. I'm not sure we're going to get the graphic to tell you the time gaps, but I could get my stopwatch out for you and try and do it manually. What you need to know here in this heat of 3, France have got a big advantage. Czechia and Switzerland are going to start pretty much at the same time. So Lea Casta there in the red bib. It's not a relay as such in that you get going right away. We have done that in the past. You'll see the maximum penalty there, 3 seconds. What that means is if anyone is 3 seconds slower, then the most, more than 3 seconds slower, the most that you can have is 3 seconds. So if a rider crashes in the first leg, at most 3 seconds is the penalty. And it keeps it interesting, doesn't it, going into the latter, into the second leg. So Hruškova's got a lot of work to do here for Slovakia. Nuria Gubser, the second athlete in the Swiss team. Gubser just looking to make sure the second place. Finished 26th in the individual round, individual competition this morning, going out in that first round, but did qualify in 8th place. Oh, and big problems for Gubser. Oh, it's been a day to forget for her. And that opens the door for Hruškova, who also went out, finished in 25th place. And she qualified in 6th. Tells you how good she is. And Czechia into the quarterfinals. But no problem at all for Jonas Cholet and Lea Casta. So Lea Casta now has 4 World Junior titles to her name, 3 individuals, a 4th in the team event last year. She could be about to become a 5-time World Junior champion if it all goes to plan today. But for Switzerland, Nuria Gubser, their challenge, Nuria Gubser and Simone Meyer, their challenge comes to an end. Getting ready now for the second heat. Netherlands, the favourites in this one, at least on paper. They wear the red bib. Netherlands, 1 team. Danstam and De Buy. De Buy, 15th place for her. Danstam finishing 6th. Same team that raced a year ago, 13th place in Goduri for the Netherlands. Can they go better than that? Get into the quarterfinals. Up against Czechia 3 here, Australia 3, and Czechia 2 as well. Wojtek Trojan and Victoria Pololanica. William Martin, Lara Walsh, the Australia 3 team. Well, Wojtek Trojan, 28th in the individual competition today for Czechia. Czechia 2 there are in the blue. Pololanikova, 44th, so didn't take part in the finals earlier. Just the top 32. To apologize, just 1 or 2 little gremlins in the system here, meaning things taking a bit of time to all get set. We have had the first heat, of course. Just waiting to get this second heat underway. Some beautiful scenery in this part of the world, in Isola 2000. Been skiing here since the early 70s. 1971 the resort was finished. It's also hosted a couple of, well, the Tour de France has passed through, the 1993 and the last year's Tour de France used Isola 2000 as a stage finish. It's often the case of the resorts in the French Alps. There gives them something to do in the summer, although of course many of them, a lot of mountain biking opportunities, beautiful climbing and walking as well. Good lift system as well. 2 gondolas, 9 chairlifts, 10 surface lifts. Funicular as well here in Isola 2000. And the skiing and snowboarding goes up to 2,610 meters. It's one of these ski and snowboard stations where the base is very high. The vertical isn't the greatest, but this part of the world you do need quite a high base station, and just shy of 2,000 meters. Certainly helping keep the snow until quite late in the season in mid-April, and still good conditions on the pistes here in Isola 2000. Great place to visit as well, because you can be in the mountains and then head down to the beach in the afternoon. That may be what 1 or 2 athletes are thinking of, with a day off tomorrow, unexpected day off. Maybe most of the flights, certainly for the athletes that are not able to drive here, would have been booked maybe for Monday or late tomorrow afternoon. Certainly maybe chance to go and enjoy the French Riviera for a few hours at least, and some warm spring weather. Well, we are on a hold here at the moment. Technical issues on the course and with the system, so do apologize for that. But everyone working on it and in trying to ensure that once we get the second heat underway, that there'll be no further delays. Just gives a chance for that chap that's been working hard all day to just clear some snow. I wonder, have they actually salted it? They may well have salted it, because that looked pretty compact in there. And if they have, it will add a different dimension to the challenge for these athletes. Very slushy first thing earlier on in the day, where there was a lot of soft snow on the course. And now, if they have salted it, then it will hold up a little better, that's for sure. Good news, we're going to get racing again. Australia 3 in green, William Martin and Lara Walsh. Netherlands with Dan Stam and Just de Buy. Czechia 2, Wojtek Trojan and Victoria Polanikova. And Czechia 3, Benakan and Trestikova in yellow. Well, Dan Stam had a pretty good race earlier on today, finishing in 6th place, making it through to the small final, and looking very strong here out of the gate in the first heat. Coming through in 2nd place, William Martin. Right now, they've got a useful advantage over 3rd and 4th. For the male athletes, it's all about trying to build as much of a lead as possible. The position, yes, it counts, as Martin decides not to try and fight for 1st place. So tactically for the men, firstly, it's about staying upright and ensuring the gap is not too big. Yes, there's a difference starting 2nd or 3rd or 4th can make an impact, but as long as the gaps are small, that is the important thing. Stay upright, don't hit that maximum time penalty of 3 seconds, and that is what these 4 men have done. I think all within the 3 seconds there, as Dan Stam gives an advantage to de Buy, his teammate. This course has taken a bit of a battering, isn't it? It's had so much riding the past 10 days or so, with the ski cross world champs as well. Maybe just over 0.2 of a second advantage for de Buy over Lara Walsh, the Australian, who will start 2nd. Lara Walsh finished in 14th place, making it through to the quarterfinals. De Buy finished in 15th place. So Australia 3 in green, Netherlands in 1, Czechia 2 in blue, Czechia 3 in yellow. Second leg about to get underway. Yeah, not a lot in it as we expected. Oh, and big problems for de Buy, the Dutch athlete, down early on in the course, and the dreams of a medal may just have disappeared for the Netherlands. Lara Walsh with the advantage for Australia. Was at the Youth Olympics last year, having had some experience on the big stage, but for the Netherlands, they need some problems. And Czechia 3 in 2nd place. Trestikova Been put under pressure by a teammate. Pololanikova sitting right in. Well, she's we've lost her as well. Bit of a problem for her, but Terestikova, who finished 45th in qualifying, if she can stay upright, it puts Czechia 3 into the quarterfinals, but Australia march on. And Walsh seeing Australia 3, I should say, into the quarterfinals. We lose the Netherlands and we lose Czechia 2 from the race. Now watch the start. The buoy, okay, on the first feature. Into the second feature, we don't quite see it, but that is where the problems came for the Dutch athlete. Job done from Martin and Walsh, the Australian team. Quarterfinals, they march on. And delight for the Czechs. You can see that. That's what it's all about, isn't it, in the World Junior Championships? Big disappointment for the Dutch. Moving on to heat number 3, Slovakia 2. France 2, Leloup and Lane. USA 3, Aidan Rowell and Sienna McKinley. And Slovakia and Canada 1 in this one as well. Dumas Govan and Hannah Turkington, they wear the green bib. Great start from Leloup. He had a good race earlier today, finished in 7th. Working well over these top features with the Canadians in a good spot here, going into the first turn. And Dumas Govan, 14th in the individual race for him, trying to make second place his own. See if he could build an advantage over Aidan Rowell from the USA. Rowell went out in the first round earlier on. Slovakia at the back of the pack at the moment, but France and Canada with the advantage now. It is head down. Sprint for the line. You've got to deal with the rollers. The light very, very flat. Even the blue dye fading, but a little bit of a few patches of brown at the side of the course helping with the definition. I think we're at the maximum time penalty there. Just over 3 seconds, my quick unofficial count. The France and Canada in a prime position. And now Liz Lane and Hannah Turkington will look to see it out for those two nations. Liz Lane, of course, the bronze medalist in the individual competition this morning. So the men will vacate and they will watch the women as we get ready for the second leg of heat number 3. Turkington in green, Lane in red, Sienna McKinley in blue, Dorota Pitanakova from Slovakia in yellow. So France and Canada get away quickly, and there 3 seconds later, it is USA and Slovakia 2. A USA 3 team, I should say, just to give you the full name. And Liz Lane sets up for the ideal line into the first turn. No problem. Now these two have such a big lead. They've just got to be careful not to do anything silly. The finishing position doesn't matter here. Top 2, that is what counts. Fight it out in the final. Stay upright, stay in the course. And with the pace that these two riders have, they will be able to see it out, I'm sure. That little step up turn has proved quite tricky today. This section is where the speed really builds on the course. Well, Turkington putting on a bit of a show here. Liz Lane maybe just stepping off the gas pedal, but Turkington through and puts Canada into the quarterfinals along with Liz Lane. Such a big advantage for these riders early on, with the time gap helping helping them out from the male leg. And yeah, Hannah Turkington, impressive. She's been good on the Noramp Cup Tour. A few podiums of late. Back in February, a win in Steamboat. Second in Gore Mountain at the start of March. They know how to put on a good race in Gore Mountain. I've been over there myself. Ski and snowboard cross, and yeah, fantastic little facility in New York State. About an hour and a half south of Lake Placid, if you know the area. Moving on to the next heat, Japan not starting this one. Well, apologies. Japan are starting this one. We've got Switzerland in red, Slovakia in green, Switzerland also in blue. Norway. In the green bib, while Switzerland in a good position here in the red bib. Sprinting now for the line. Flat light conditions. The sun occasionally breaks through. And that is a very strong run. Very strong run from the Swiss athletes. Switzerland won, with Lauren Fuder putting down a fantastic run there. So Lauren Fuder, who finished fourth in the big final, wants to step it up, doesn't he? Old cliche, fourth, the worst place to finish. Moving on to the second leg of heat number 4. Engler in blue. Getting some time gaps now. So Alina Koller for Switzerland. Switzerland 3 in the blue bib, but getting underway, Naomi Wiedmer, silver medalist in 2024 at the World Junior Championships, but 4th today. Both of the Switzerland 1 riders finishing 4th. Australia in the mix as well here with, not Australia, I do apologise. It's the 2 Swiss teams. Switzerland 2 running in second, Slovakia 1, Pitonakova. At the moment in contention, but Switzerland 1, Switzerland 3, first and second. And Naomi Wiedmer, great athlete, of course, just missing out on a medal, but both Swiss teams in this 4th heat looking very, very strong. And Lauren Fuder and Naomi Wiedmer take their place in the quarterfinals. Slovakia closing in a little bit on Switzerland 3, but it's not enough. And the 2 Swiss teams go through. Norway 1 out of this one. Big, big lead there for Switzerland. Well, these are the sort of gaps that the riders want in this format, especially in the second leg. You could just conserve a bit of energy where you can, and it certainly helps moving on to the latter stages of the race. So 4 heats done. 4 heats to go in the first round, and now we move on to heat number 5 as Switzerland, both Swiss teams progress. Let's get a look at the quarterfinal lineups for you. Quarterfinal 1, France 1, Australia 3, and then Czechia 1 and Czechia 3. That's the first of the quarterfinals. And then quarterfinal number 2, Switzerland 1, France 2, Canada 1, and Switzerland 3. So heat number 5, a team much like Switzerland 1, but you would not be surprised if they picked up a medal today. Australia 1 will be in the red bib, Cameron Turner, and the silver medalist, Maya Billingham. Norwegian team just making their way off of the course. Ida Stavanis there. She was 33rd in qualifying, just missing out on a place in finals, but walking off, and that is, of course, a good sign. A yellow flag out, but of course they haven't started any heats yet. You tend to need the yellow flag more in trading. They won't start a heat if there's any issues on the course, but in training, when the riders sort of go at maybe 20-second intervals, we have the yellow flags. A little different to Alpine Skiing, of course, in speed, where there's time gaps and you may have 2 or 3 people on course in downhill and Super G, and then you need the yellow flags if someone's crashed up ahead. But in snowboard cross and ski cross, certainly once we're in the heats, they tend not to be used too often. Well, there's the scene here high up in Isola 2000, the snow hanging on. Temperatures are going to creep up, but we are doing this race a day ahead of schedule due to the impending weather conditions that we're expecting tomorrow. So organisers and the FIS deciding that let's bring it forward a day. Expecting precipitation throughout the day tomorrow. Wind is okay, but a lot of cloud, maybe more rain as well. Even the forecast for today wasn't particularly great, but it's been all right, and organisers at this stage of the season not wanting to take any chances. 3 teams in heat number 5. Cameron Turner for Australia 1 will be first to go, along with USA 2 and Nicholas Westerman. Romania 1. Benzexi there in the blue bib. Well, Cameron Turner, 5th in the individual competition, has the red bib on his shoulders here. Westerman finished in 19th place for the USA. But all going to plan here for Turner into the first turn, and the light conditions certainly getting worse later on in the day, approaching 2:30 in the afternoon. Of course, at this stage, this time of year, at this stage of the season, you know, you can keep riding till 5 p.m. if you want. Maybe not great for racing, but you know, the light's there. Oh, and problems for the USA. Westerman having to get back up quickly. Now, that could bring Romania right into the mix, and Katja Mandel is a very quick rider, and she will be relishing the chance now, Mandel, to put Romania into the quarterfinals. But Australia taking the first leg. It's not done yet. It's only half-time in this heat. And USA are not going to be out of it. Tola will still have a chance. That bank turn has been causing problems for these athletes all day long. Little look over the shoulder from Turner. Job done. Let's watch Maya Billingham now. She's in the red bib. Tola in green. Kata Mandel from Romania. So Billingham underway, 2.3 seconds the advantage. Now Mandel underway, then USA. So Mandel is going to be put under pressure. See just how well she can handle it. Was second in the 8 finals, but Mandel finishing 9th in the individual competition. 18-year-old athlete has had a few World Cup starts, 8 World Cup starts now, has qualified for the World Cup Tour, best of 12 coming this season, and 15th last time out, the last race of the World Cup season in Mont Saint-Anne, Canada. Billingham already with a medal in at these World Juniors just a few hours ago, second place, and she's going to put Australia 1 into the quarterfinals. The fight on for second place, it's going to be Romania. Just get sight there of Kata Mandel. So Romania do take it. And Kata Mandel is a very, very useful athlete to have in your team. She can close in some gaps. You don't finish 12th or 15th on the World Cup Tour if you haven't got some real pace about you. All confirmed. Australia 1, Romania 1 into the big final. We're not there yet. Quarterfinal. Moving on to heat number 6. Japan 1. Puki Oda will be first to go for the Japanese team. Australia 2. William McCarthy and Abby Wilson. Julius Rickel for Germany in the green bib, the bronze medalist from earlier today, and Bulgaria in the yellow bib. Hermenkov keeping in touch, isn't he? Hermenkov 44th in the individual competition. Oh, and big problems there for William McCarthy from Australia. And that hands it over to Rickel from Germany. And McCarthy may have will have given Abby Wilson a lot to do. Now, Australia still in third place. But remember, that won't be enough, will it? It's all about the time gaps. Well, it's going to be a 3-second advantage for Rosalie Bauer from Germany when she gets underway. And Rickel riding very smoothly over this bottom section. Bulgaria, Hermenkov is crossing the line. So 3 seconds. We're going to have Germany go first and then 3 seconds between everybody else. So still all to play for. Watch the Australian McCarthy. Was there a bit of contact there between himself and Oda from Japan? I would need to see it again, but the important thing for the Australians and everybody else in this race, second place is still up for grabs. Rosalie Bauer, best of the Germans in the women's event, finished in 29th place. She is in the red bib here. The green bib, I should say. Australia in the red bib, Abby Wilson. So Germany will go, then 3 seconds will feel like 3 hours for Japan, Australia, and Bulgaria. So Bauer underway, and then what matters more is the start for the remaining 3 teams, because that is where the race is going to be won and lost, and who is going to get their place in the quarterfinals. And Wilson finished in 6th place in the individual competition. And there you can see now she is making second place all her own. Bauer just really making sure of it. Tricky conditions out there on the course, and with that 3-second gap, she's a good rider. She knows just see this out. Don't take any risk, but Abby Wilson, well, she has put the hammer down, hasn't she? Sometimes in the early rounds you can get away with it. Not so much in the later rounds when it's all going to be a little bit closer. But Australia, the Australia 2 team, almost getting Germany on the line, but means we lose Japan and Bulgaria from the race. In the end, it goes to seed, with the red bibs and the green bibs getting through. Impressive run there from Wilson. She probably saw that crash from her teammate McCarthy and would have been pretty worried. And that's why we have the time gap. Otherwise, you know, we're looking at 20 seconds, and it just takes all the fun out of the second leg, doesn't it? So 3 seconds means you could afford a mistake in the first leg, No mistakes in the second leg, though. So heat 6 all done and dusted in the books. Germany 1 and Australia 2 progressing. But 2 heats to go. France 3 in red, Italy 1 in green, Canada 3 in blue, and Spain 1 in yellow. So heat number 7, still waiting patiently in the start gate. France 3, Nils King, Fiona Caiola Serra. And then Italy 1 in green, Tommaso Costa, Lisa Francesca Borai. Canada 3, Marc-Antoine Poulain and Laurie Beauchamp in blue. And Spain 1 in yellow, Max Alvino Garcia and Andrea Cias Fidal. They wear the yellow bib. So another little delay here, just checking through things, making sure everything is working. I was trying to listen into a bit of the jury radio, and I did hear the word rerun get mentioned. I'm not sure in what context, or even if there will be a rerun for any of the athletes. Well, riders making their way back to the top. Yeah, we are going to go back to heat number 1. Just double checking that. There was an issue, I think, with the time gaps. I'm speculating a little bit there, but we are going to rerun heat number 1. That is what I understand. They threw that heat away really quickly, if you remember. We were just having a little chat, weren't we? But heat 1 is going to happen again. 3 teams in heat 1. France 1, Czechia 1, and Switzerland 2. France, of course, Jonas Cholet and Lea Casta. They won it with Czechia 1 coming through in second place. So the Swiss team went out. There's the gathering of spectators. You can see the green and gold of Australia flag there being waved. No, as far as I understand, no other changes are coming, no other reruns, just heat number 1. It's getting darker, isn't it? Oh, okay, the drone's sort of almost black and white, but it is getting pretty gloomy out there. The weather has been getting steadily worse throughout the day. For the individual competition, there were some pockets of sunshine, which helped with the visibility on the course, but it's not a cold day now. Around about 7-8 degrees above freezing. But once those clouds come in, if the wind picks up, which thankfully the wind hasn't picked up too much yet for these riders in the afternoon, it's okay, pretty mild. So France won, I would imagine we're already back at the top, as were Czechia. Not sure about the Swiss team. Now, they may have protested something. Apologies, I don't have any information here in the commentary position for you. But I did pick up on the radio rerun, and then I can see on our live scoring, live timing system that we are going to go back to heat 1. There may be a number of conversations going on. They could just be giving the Swiss team a little bit of time because they maybe weren't expecting to be in the to have to race again. So as far as I understand, the results from heat 1 annulled, and we'll do it all again, which is just means an extra run in the legs for Jonas Cholet, Lea Casta, and the other 3 teams, other 2 teams actually in this heat. Well, drone's going to take us up over the course. There we are. Yep, France, Switzerland, and Czechia all lined up again. So back to heat 1. Nothing else has changed. Heats 2 to 6, all okay. So Jonas Cholet gets us underway. We're going back to the second leg. I do apologize. This is the second leg. So Lea Casta underway. So it was just the female leg that we are rerunning here with Czechia and Karolina Hrušková in blue and Switzerland in third place right now. Well, Lea Casta with a big lead, as you'd expect. Karolina Hrušková in second place. Czechia have been put under pressure by Switzerland. So what this is saying is telling me that there was an issue with the time gaps on the second leg, and maybe they weren't applied correctly going into the second leg. So perhaps Switzerland, Switzerland definitely would have been the ones protesting, because Czechia wouldn't, would they? And France certainly wouldn't. Sprint for the line. Are we losing snow throughout the day? Certainly looks that way. Well, the result in the end doesn't change. It is still France and Czechia who progress. So Lea Casta has to put another run in the legs. What's one more after a long season, after a successful season? Already a gold medal winning day for Lea Casta. Everybody feels it a little bit, don't they? But I don't think Lea Casta will mind too much. So now we've got the official results from heat number 1. We thought we did. Now we've got them again. Moving on, heat number 7. I'll give you the lineups again. Canada 3 in blue, France 3 in red, Italy 1. Strong looking team in green, and Spain 1 in yellow. Now Spain and snowboard cross, the likes of Lucas Eguibar on the men's side have had success over the years, haven't they? Number of events have been held. Baqueira Beret, Sierra Nevada. Of course, Sierra Nevada hosting the World Championships in 2017. It's one of my favorite places to go for a slide on snow. France 3 in a commanding position. Niels King, and it gets a little close for second place between Costa and Poulain. Side by side through the back turns into this next section. Still on their feet, running in second place, Marc-Antoine Poulain from Canada. Now just starting to pull away from Tommaso Costa. Costa 18th in the individual competition. Well, the top 3 will be separated, certainly by just over a second. Spain coming through, might be at the maximum time penalty for Spain. Well, that was where it all got a little close, didn't it? So attention turns back to the start. Fiona Keolo-Serra, 7th in the individual competition in the red bib for France. Laurie Beauchamp from Canada in blue, just 0.2 of a second behind. Italy getting underway as well now with Lisa Francesca Borai, 13th in the individual competition. And CS Vidal Go from Spain underway now. So all 4 teams moving the second leg of heat number 7 in the mixed team snowboard cross here in Isola 2000. France with the advantage, and Italy now up in second place. And Fiona Keolo-Serra looking to ensure France get another team through to the quarterfinals. And that is exactly what they're going to do. France and Italy. Oh, careful, careful, careful. It's just across the line. We've seen a few moments across the line, haven't we? Well, just about 0.2 of a second was the time gap. But it was a great ride from the Italian, Francesca Borai. Took it pretty close in the end. Spain coming through in third place. So last of the 8 finals. 3 teams in it. Canada 2. USA 1 with Nathan Pear and Brianna Snorbush. And Italy 2, Federico Casai in the green bib, but Nathan Pear getting underway with a really good start. Coming into the first turn, and Nathan Pear picked up the silver medal, didn't he, in the individual competition. Very strong ride today from Pear. Can he help get his team on the podium again? Brianna Snorbush, who'll be going in the second leg, finished 5th. Pass there from the Italians, Federico Casai ahead of Jacob Label. Label 29th in the individual competition, but it's all pretty close. Canada is still going to have an opportunity here. They're not too far behind the Italians. All pretty close in the end, maybe within a second. Nathan Pear keeping it all under control. Managing the race. That's what you've got to do in the early rounds, especially as a favourite. Be confident, but also manage those reserves. It's been so much riding for these athletes today. Just over a second separating the 3 teams. Rose Savard-Ferguson will be last to go for Canada in the blue bib, but Snorbush gets underway, quickly followed by Giordanella and Savard-Ferguson. Rose Savard-Ferguson 19th in the individual. Giordanella 22nd in the individual, and it is the Canadians moving up into second place. Snorbush negotiates that tricky first turn very well. Got to rely on the pace from earlier on. Knowledge of the course. All of these riders know this course inside out. They've had training, qualifying, and individual competition. And you can see maybe some of the speed has gone out of the course as well as we've gone into the afternoon. There's not as many riders pushing that penultimate bank out towards the nets as much as they were earlier. We'll see once we get into the latter rounds of this competition. But USA go into the quarterfinals and Canada join them. So the team, Italy 2 team, out of the race. The North Americans prevail in heat number 8. And now we can turn our attention to the quarterfinals coming up in a few moments' time. Well, Snorbush and Pear, certainly 2 of the athletes, or one of the teams, I should say, that are favourites for a medal. France are going to have something to say about that. And I like the look of the Swiss team as well. You can't count out the Australians. Certainly that Switzerland 1 team of Führer and Wiedmer is going to be very, very strong. Quarterfinal 3. Australia 1, Australia 2, Germany 1, and Romania 1. Quarterfinal 4, USA 1, France 3, Italy 1, and Canada 2. So the athletes should be all in position at the top for the quarterfinals. Australia 3 in this quarterfinal with Czechia 3, Australia 1 and France 1. Martin and Walsh for Australia 3, Cholet and Casta for France 1. Czechia 1, Hlavaček and Hrusova. Czechia 3, Benakan and Trestikova. You can see in the background that cloud is coming in. So let's keep this race moving because it's starting to close in. This is what we were expecting for tomorrow. As I said earlier, the forecast wasn't great for today. However, things are moving. 10 more heats to run by my quick maths. That's all we've got to get through. Well, 20 because it's a team event, but 10 more races for the quarterfinals. 2 in the semi-finals, small final and big final. Athletes are all at the top of the course, and I wonder with the weather coming in, maybe the maintenance gaps will just start to decrease slightly. You'll have a natural pause, certainly after the semi-finals. At the end of the quarterfinals, opportunity to do some work while all of the riders make their way back to the top. So Australia 3 with Martin in green, France 1 with Cholet in red, Hlavaček from Czechia 1 in blue, and Benakan, Czechia 3 in yellow. Martin finished 9th in the individual competition, making it through to the quarterfinals. Cholet, of course, the gold medalist, and not a great start from Cholet. The Czech team riding, Czechia 1 riding pretty well out of the gate, but now Cholet starts to stamp his authority on the race, and Martin following him through in 2nd place again for Martin. And maybe, of course, he'll want to try and finish ahead of Cholet, but I don't think he'll take too much risk here. It is just the quarterfinals. Semi-finals, again, top 2. So for Martin with Lara Walsh, who's to follow for the Australians, alongside Casta from France, they will have a pretty big advantage here going into the 2nd leg. Certainly, I think 3-second maximum time penalty is going to be applied. Well, Cholet and Martin putting on a bit of a show there. Good racing in the 2 Czech teams, 3rd and 4th. It isn't over yet, though. Cholet not the quickest out of the gate there. Czechia 1 pairing of, Stepan Hlavaček with a really strong start in that one. He finished 21st earlier today. You can do the counting yourself. So we're going to be 3 seconds for the 2 Czech teams. Just missing a rider at the moment, Karolina Hruskova. Of course, did have to ride again, so she maybe isn't quite ready to go yet. She had to go in that rerun 2nd leg from the very first heat of the day. And you can see she's not there. Everybody else is there. Lara Walsh in position. Australia in the green bibs. It may be April, but still time for a ski lesson. Just watch out for the grass behind you. Yeah, these clouds are coming in pretty quick, aren't they, folks? And is that some precipitation I see as well? Well, that will not help things too much. We can race in a bit of rain. That's all right, but my concern is visibility if this closes in a little bit more throughout the day. On paper, we could run through this in about another 30 minutes, but it is getting worse out there, and the rain is starting to fall. And it is rain. It's too warm for snow. Potentially a bit of snow overnight if the temperatures do creep down enough. hopefully once Hruskova is in position, then it'll be a case of just trying to get through these quarterfinals as quick as possible and move on. I'd be doing the maintenance probably ahead of the small final and big final. Just try and get us through to the semi-finals. Get our final lineups all sorted. These riders really do know the course now. It's holding up. It is in surprisingly good shape. That's testament to the organisers and the team out on the hill. We don't want to wait too long because the clouds are rolling. And there's a scene at the start. The teams all bring the tents up now to keep any precipitation and off of the boards when they're doing the preparation. In my day, we just used to carry a bench to the top, and that was it. We didn't have a tent. If I was to come back on the circuit, I'd bring a tent. And a chair and a flask. So they're just doing a little bit of work. Courses on hold, as you can all see at the moment. We were waiting for Karolina Hruskova, who obviously had to rerun and make her way back to the top of the course. And rightly, of course, they give her just a little bit of time. You don't want to do a race and then have to jump straight back in the gate again.
No, I don't think you can pass. They have to be on the other camera. So, all right. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, the drone's gone for a bit of a climb. You can see the rocky terrain in this part of the world. There's the snow line as well. This being one of the higher resorts in France does have its own sort of microclimate as well. It does mean you get very reliable snow cover despite being so close to the Mediterranean. And the improvements in the road between Nice and here. I mean, you can do it in about an hour and a half safely. That's all I'll say on that. So it looks like the riders are getting into position. We can see Hruskova there in the blue bib. Czechia 3 in yellow. France 1 and Australia 3. Red and green respectively. They're all there, so hopefully we get this second leg of the first quarterfinal underway. So 3 seconds for the Czech teams, just 0.17 for Walsh behind Kasta. Kasta will go first, and on paper right now you would say France and Australia have got this in the bag, but Hruskova is a real quality athlete, and don't give her a sniff, because Hruskova, although she had problems early on today, she did qualify in 6th place. Only 17 years old, but she is fast. Super fast. 8th place in the Goduri World Cup. Well, Lea Kasta, as she's done all race long, is just building that big lead, and France won. Once Kasta sees this out, we'll be in the semi-finals. And Walsh just aiming to make sure of it, of course, for Australia. Once you're in the semi-finals, focus again. Kasta just styling it out over that little turn with the slight step up as well. And one feature to go for Kasta. No. And France can celebrate again. Casta putting France 1 into the semi-finals, and Australia join them. Rusova getting Czechia 1 through in 3rd place. No sign of Czechia 3 at the moment. Prestikova. So the Czechs, both Czech teams out. Watch it, Casta again. Supremely confident rider after the success this season. So France 1, Australia 3 into the semi-finals, getting towards the business end of this mixed team event. Well, good to see Prestikova has made it down to the finish. Back to the start for quarterfinal number 2. Switzerland 1, Führer and Wiedmer, the 2 4th-place finishers, looking to turn their fortunes around in the red bib. Switzerland 1, Canada 1 in blue, France 2 in green, Leloup and Lane. And it's the French with the lead at the coming into the first turn. Switzerland in 2nd, Canada in 3rd. Switzerland 3. Engler and Kohler, their team. It is Lars Engler, of course, on course in that yellow bib. Do not go down for Canada. Still in contention here. France and Switzerland really pulling away. Again, no problems through that tricky bank turn. And Leloup at the front of the race, but this one's closing up a little bit. Everything getting a bit tighter. Switzerland have the advantage here, and it is Switzerland first, and Canada coming through strongly, and all 4 riders on the deck across the line. It is a bumpy finish area, but they appear to be okay. Well, a little closer than it looked at the midpoint of the race, but here everything comes together. Switzerland 3 closing that gap in, Lars Engler. The brakes go on, everybody down, but everybody okay. Get ready now for the second leg. Naomi Wiedmer in red for Switzerland, Hannah Turkington in blue for Canada, Lise Lane for France in green, Alina Kohler. 0.59, just over half a second between all 4 teams. So Wiedmer has the advantage, but she has been chased by 3 quality athletes. And it is Turkington for Canada that gets into 2nd place, but Lise Lane will try and find the right line to keep Turkington close. Lane, of course, bronze medal earlier today, and now putting Turkington under a bit of pressure. This is where the knowledge of these snows, these hills, is going to be absolutely key, and Lise Lane getting close to Turkington. Turkington will still have the inside line on the next turn, and she is just holding on to 2nd place at the moment. What a ride from Hannah Turkington from Canada. Can she hold off and spring a bit of a surprise, knocking out the France 2 team? Switzerland are going to hit the semi-finals, and this is going to be disappointment for France. Canada come through in 2nd place, and it won't be a double medal day for Lise Lane. The France 2 team and Switzerland 3 teams out at the quarterfinal stage. So Switzerland 1 and Canada 1 into semi-final number 1. 2 quarterfinals to go, and in the end it was pretty comfortable across the line for Turkington. A little bit of disappointment there, I would think, for the French team, but Turkington, and that is not good. She's gone down across the line, just holding something after a superb ride. The Canadians go into the semi-finals, along with France 1, Switzerland 1, and the Australia 3 team of William Martin and Lara Walsh. 2 quarterfinals to go. Very tricky conditions for the athletes out there. Especially with the light conditions. Okay out of the start. However, flat light, especially at the higher speed sections of the course. Quarterfinal 3. Australia 1, Cameron Turner, do beg your pardon. Australia 2, William McCarthy. Germany 1, Julius Rico, the bronze medalist. And Romania 1 in this one as well. Benzedzi. So Australia 1. Turner in the lead going into the first turn. Rico in second for Germany. McCarthy running in third place at the moment. Just stay close, because McCarthy's handing over to Abby Wilson. Oh, Enrico trying to make the pass, but it's all pretty close, isn't it? And McCarthy closing in as well here. These men pushing it out towards the B netting. Now, the two Australian teams and Germany fighting for top position. Germany coming through, and Rico's board is looking very, very fast. And Germany take the first leg. Australia 1 in second. Australia 3 in third, but next to nothing between them. Big opportunity for the two Australian teams to get into semi-final number 2. Rico, of course, handing over now to Rosalie Bauer. Bauer 29th in the individual competition. Then you look at the Australians. Abby Wilson finished in 6th place. Maya Billingham in 2nd. So the Australians will be confident here. Billingham in red, Wilson in green, Bauer in blue, Mandel 1.66 behind, and Mandel is quick, isn't she? She's in the yellow bib. So don't count out Romania yet. If there's any problems up ahead, Mandel will be ready to pounce. And sometimes in this game, it is easier being the chaser. Bauer in a top spot, but Billingham is going to be on the inside line. Bauer shuts the door well on her, but just runs a little wide. Billingham take it over in a top spot now. And Bauer and Wilson fighting for second. Wilson now up to first. Just don't take your teammate out. That is the key thing here. Australia in first and second, if they can just avoid any contact. Again, they are running close to each other, aren't they? Just, you've got some space on Bauer. Just avoid anything. And look at the Romanian closing in well. Mandel might even be up to third place there. Not quite yet, but Australia are going to take it. Australia 2 ahead of Australia 1. They both progress. So Wilson and Billingham putting the Australian teams in. You can see that Abby Wilson in green had quite a bit to make up. Here's where she made the pass on Bauer. Again, taking a lot of risk there. Not afraid to run close to the German. So 3 Australian teams into the semi-finals. Australia 2 and Australia 1 will go into semi-final 2. There's a lot of numbers for you here. They will be up against either Canada 2, Italy 1, France 3, or USA 1. So last of the quarterfinals lined up in the start gate. Tommaso Costa for Italy 1, Pair for USA 1, King for France 3, Label for Canada 2. Niels King in that green bib, 13th in the individual competition. Pair, of course, in red, the silver medalist. It's France with the best of the starts here. Pair in second, Canada trying to get up to third, and Costa for Italy in fourth place. Costa 18th in the individual competition. He'll hand over to Francesca Boirai. Finished at 13th. USA still ahead of France in this quarter-final. Little wobble there for Pair, and France and King can come through. Oh, and problems for Canada. Canada. It'll be a 3-second time gap, and Label can now just cruise to the finish, knowing that Savard Ferguson will have to make up 3 seconds. But USA take it. France in second. Italy closing that gap down pretty well in third place. So still a lot to play for going into the second leg of quarterfinal number 4. Pair, the regular-footed rider. King, goofy-footed rider. They're back-to-back. Does make it difficult with just tracking your other riders in those situations. So here we go. Quarterfinal number 4, second leg. Canada have to make up 3 seconds. Italy, 1.0. Now as well as our Canada. Savard Ferguson has a lot to do here. Just a small pocket of sunshine, which is rather nice to see. That'll help the athletes just push even harder in this quarterfinal. Snorbush with the advantage. Keola Serra making life difficult for Snorbush. Snorbush still has top spot, in Italy. Francesca Boirai, 13th in the individual competition, is putting the pressure on the 2 leaders and trying to get Italy into the semi-finals. Little stumble there from the Italian, loses a bit of speed, and now Snorbush has got to glide at that board. She's got Keola Serra behind her, and Snorbush still in the lead. It may be too late for the Italians. Just trying to draft, it's not going to work. USA and France into the second semi-final. Strong US pairing, isn't it? Pair and Snorbush. 2nd and 5th in the individual competition. Exactly the same as Australia 1. Billingham in 2nd and Turner in 5th. They will face off in that second semi-final. So Italy and Canada out of the race. And now the semi-finals await. So semi-final 2, USA 1, Australia 1, Australia 2, and France 3. That's the second of the semi-finals, and those riders that have just done quarter-final 4 will have to hot-foot it to the top of the hill. Of course, they'll give them a bit of time. Thankfully, the cloud hasn't rolled in quite as quickly as I was fearing it might. So semi-finals up next. France 1, Switzerland 1, Australia 3, and Canada 1 in semi-final number 1. USA 1, Australia 2, Australia 1, and France 3 in the second of the semi-finals. Again, just some work done on the course here to ensure it's in as good a condition as possible for all of the athletes here. Just try and ensure that there's no little bumps or surprise sections that may cause an issue. Yeah, it's been a long day for the coaches as well. Been a long season. For many of the teams, this will be it for today, for the season. In fact, it is the last FIS snowboard cross race of the season. There's no more FIS races, NORAMs, National Junior Champs on the schedule. This is it. So maybe some teams will go do a bit of training, but I think most, it will be pack up, head home, rest, recover, come back in the spring on the glaciers and where the conditions allow, test the boards out ahead of next season. For many of the athletes we're seeing today, certainly the likes of Jonas Cholet, I think you're going to be seeing him a lot more on the World Cup Tour, so it'll be a busy off-season. And of course next year into the Olympic Games, and Leah Casta is going to be one of the favourites for the Olympics, isn't she? The way she is riding at the moment. Casta, 19 years old, will turn 20, I think, actually, during the Olympics. Didn't compete at Beijing 2022, of course. She was at the Youth Olympics last season. 5th at the World Championships was Leah Casta. Well, if you don't have a seat, use a board. Of course, the riders making their way back to the top. Now they're doing a bit of dyeing on the course. I was going to say the blue dye had all but disappeared due to the soft snow. So adding a little bit more dye as the overhead conditions are not ideal. It all helps, and yeah, there's some trees around for a bit of extra definition, but quite high up. The tree line actually pretty high in this part of France, so but we're in quite a high resort as well. So you don't have to go far to get above the tree line, but there you can see. This may take another few minutes, of course. It just allows everyone to get back to the top. I probably would have done it after the semi-finals, but that's just me. But to be honest, it did need doing, so why not do it now? But it was all in perfect condition this morning and ahead of the team event. But once you've had a bit of training and then all the racing this morning in the individual competition, that blue dye starts to disappear just because of the soft snow. It's not bedded in on a hard base at the moment, but if this chap's going to do the whole course, then you've probably got time to make a coffee. Don't worry, if we do start the racing a little earlier than expected, I'll give you a shout, let you know. I know for many of you it is the middle of the night, especially those of you watching Australia, New Zealand, Asia. Good morning to you if you're in North America. If you're in Europe, then middle of the afternoon, isn't it? So appreciate you all wherever you're watching around the world. If you've set your alarms or you've just tuned in the middle of your Saturday afternoon, really appreciate your company. This is it for us on FIS TV for the season. We've shown you everything, haven't we? And it's been a real pleasure for myself to be part of the team across some ski cross and a little bit of snowboard cross now as well. Thank you for everyone that's engaged on social media as well. But just because the winter's nearly over, if you haven't followed us yet, stay with us on social media across all of the accounts at FIS Snowboard Racing on Instagram. You can find out a little bit more about what's going on at the World Junior Championships, and you'll hear and see what some of the athletes and teams are up to over the summer and keep abreast of any major news stories before the Olympic season gets underway as well. You can download the FIS app and check out the website as well, because that'll give you all the news stories, video clips as well. And if you're bored over the summer, head onto YouTube, head onto FIS TV, and you can just watch all the highlights of every discipline throughout the season. And with so many FIS disciplines, that'll probably take you right the way through to next season. So get involved on social media. Give us a follow. And if you haven't downloaded the app, well, why not do it now? Yes, it's the last day for us in the 2024-2025 season on FIS TV. But there'll be more to come over the summer, of course, and little clips, maybe even a few short documentaries to take you closer to the athletes. And yeah, it's the stage of a race where you just have to do a little bit of waiting, because we're doing it now. So in theory, that we don't have to have a delay ahead of the small and big finals, which will come after this these two semi-finals, which are up next. Long day for everybody out on the hill. The organisers here in Isola 2000 have done a good job. It's always tricky, always risky when you agree to hold this sort of event at the end of the season, but with so many of these juniors on the World Cup Tour, you can't really fit it in the middle of the season. So doing it at the end of the season is certainly a good way, but you've got to choose the right resort, and Isola 2000 has proven to be a good choice here. USA with a medal chance, going in the second of the semi-finals, Per and Snowboard. So some artwork being done on the course here, just to ensure visibility is good for the athletes. They've got the definition. As soon as it's done and everyone's happy with the course and the condition of the course, we'll get back underway with the racing. You can see the riders getting lined up for the first of the semi-finals. France won. Jonas Cholet in that red bib, and from Switzerland in green, Lauren Fuder. I was just about to say, give us a wave if you can hear us. Unlikely to be listening to the commentary when they've got a race to run. Sounding like everyone's in position and just about to go. That may have been Francois Olivier, the chief of competition. Could have been someone else, though. Yeah, they're putting a blue line down the middle of the finish section, which I like. And once that chap is out the way, they will get the race started. So here we go. Semi-final one. Canada won in the yellow bib. Australia 3 in blue, France 1 in red, Switzerland 1 in green. Top two into the big final, third and fourth into the small final. And for these men, even if they're first and second, they know it is not over yet. Wiedmer, Casta, Walsh and Turkington will be the next athletes to go in the second leg of this first semi-final. So we get underway with the first of the semi-finals. Great start again from Chole. Fura trying to get into second place, but the Australians, the Australia 3 team, William Martin, just making life difficult for Switzerland here. And they are face to face, aren't they? Chole with the advantage, and Martin still holding on to second place. And into this next turn, Fura has to just accept third place for now, but Martin in second. Chole is off and away. He was pretty close to the nets in the individual competition, wasn't he? So he's going to give Casta a massive advantage here. The fight is going to be on for the second spot in the big final, though. Martin just holding Switzerland off, and Fura. And, well, it is going to be so tight here between Canada, Switzerland, and Australia. You see those little moves, extra little moves that Chole is making. It's giving him that advantage. Little flick of the feet. Generates power, generates speed on every single turn. Here, Fura nearly into second place, but impressive riding from Martin from Australia. Martin handing over to Lara Walsh. Fura handing over now to Wiedmer. So here we go, second leg. 2.5 seconds between first and second. Forget about Casta. It's all about second place. So Casta underway, 2.5 seconds tick by. And now we are racing again for a place in the big final. Walsh and Wiedmer. Wiedmer in the green bib is going to get up into second place here. But Canada and Turkington, she rode so well in the quarterfinals, is keeping Canada in the hunt here now. Casta is well clear, all the action behind us there, and Switzerland with Wiedmer making second place her own. Turkington into third. Walsh running in fourth place at the moment. That is second, third, and fourth, because Casta is well clear. And France are going to take this one and go into the big final along with Switzerland 1. There's Leah Casta, looking to make it a double gold day. Switzerland through in second. Canada 1 and Australia 3 into the small final. No problems again for Leah Casta. She has been in imperious form today, as has Jonas Chole. So big final for France 1 and Switzerland 1, small final, Canada 1 and Australia 3. Second semi-final already in the gate. Turner in green for Australia, Pair in red for the USA, McCarthy in blue for Australia, King in yellow for France. Just a little bit of wind starting to make its way towards the top of the course. But after this semi-final, just 2 races to go. Australia 1, Cameron Turner, 5th place in the individual competition. Pair in red, silver medalist. McCarthy in blue, 10th earlier on today. And King in yellow, 13th. Semi-final 2 underway. Everyone getting away very, very well. Good start in green for Australia 1 and Turner. He, of course, hands over to the silver medalist in the women's competition, Maya Billingham. Pair right on the tail of his board, 2 regular-footed riders. Australia 2 in 3rd place, France 3 at the back of the pack right now, but making life difficult for that second Australia team. Australia 2, McCarthy just trying to get back in touch with Nathan Perrault, and problems for McCarthy. It'll be a 3-second time gap for McCarthy and Wilson. And King has really closed in on the 2 leaders, and this is going to be a very tight second leg, especially between the top 3 teams, and then Wilson is going to be on her own. Everyone getting away very well. Pair, Turner, McCarthy, and King. I think it was Nathan Pair. Just got it on the line. So he gives Snorbush a slender advantage. That's where McCarthy had his problems. Asking a lot now of Wilson. But Wilson, in that blue bib, will have to watch Snorbush, Billingham, Keolo Serra, all start ahead of her. 0.2 of a second between Snorbush and Billingham here. Now Wilson gets underway, and she can run her own race. She can take those qualifying lines and not worry about what's happening in front. Nearly a little mistake there from Wilson, but at the front of the race, Snorbush and Billingham back to back. It's Billingham who gets through in a top spot. Real battle for second place with Snorbush and Keolo Serra. Billingham has the advantage. We've got 3 riders battling for 2 positions at the top, and that's a great executed pass from Snorbush, and now Billingham being put under pressure by Keolo Serra from France, and Billingham still in second place, but the French women's got some speed. Wilson's out of it here in 4th place for Australia 2, but Snorbush is going to deliver USA into the final. Billingham through for France, and Wilson really closed up that time gap, didn't she? So Turner and Billingham celebrate together. They're into the big final. And 2 races to go, the small and big final. What a long day of racing. Exceptional work from all of these athletes that have been out there in not the easiest of conditions. Small final for France 3 and Australia 2. I'll run you through the lineups for the small and big final in just a second. Of course, there'll be a few minutes between now and the small final, because France 3 and Australia 2 have got to get to the top, where Australia 3 and Canada 1 are already waiting. Then the big final, France 1, Australia 1. USA 1, Switzerland 1. So I think now we can just say France, USA, Australia and Switzerland. How about that, just for the final? We'll drop the numbers. It's the number 1 teams. And of course, we'll have a little bit of maintenance now, because there is time to get those athletes back to the top whilst we wait for the small final, so they can do a little bit of work. Team Snowboard Cross, of course, a Olympic event now, and Milano Cortina rapidly closing in. February 2026 for the Winter Olympic Games. Well, I was worried that the clouds that we see were going to rapidly come in and cause some problems. But thankfully, they've held off, which will be okay for the final two races of the day. Why not have a little bit of fun? Get on the deck, get on the bench. I like it. Well, Isola 2000 and the local snowboard club here doing a great job, haven't they? Looking after all of the athletes. This part of the world, we haven't been too recently on the World Cup tour. I think there's been some snowboard cross World Cups in the past, maybe Puy-Saint-Vincent. Les Deux Alpes, of course, has hosted snowboard cross World Cups in the past, not too long ago. Is a bit of a drive from here to Les Deux Alpes, though. You're looking at about 6 hours. We are so far south here. Pretty close. Not far away from the Italian border either. The riders still making their way back to the top, and some maintenance getting done. This is why I maybe would have done it now, just moved on with the semi-finals, and then always going to have in cross racing a gap ahead of the last of the semi-finals and the small final, because you've got an athlete in that second semi-final that's going to be in the small or big final. So that's just how it works. But taking the time here to ensure that the course is in as good a shape as it can be in ahead of the last two races of the day. Of course, the rider's getting a lift to the top now at this stage of the race, and just speeds things up a little bit, doesn't it? If you like a ride on one of them, that is the way to do it. Well, some riders may be getting a lift, others having to use the button lifts. Australia 1 will be in the blue bib for the big final. It'll be France 1 in red, USA 1 in green, Australia 1 in blue, Switzerland 1 in yellow. But of course, before that big final, we do have the small final. You can hear the wind as well as I can. It's been picked up by some of the mics, and thankfully not too strong, but there was a lot of conversations going on here yesterday about the potential weather conditions, and decision made to move this team event from tomorrow to today to ensure, at least not ensure because we're in the mountains, you never know what it's going to be like. And that is the top of the drag lift, and then you get that little lift to the top. And that's why we have the weight and the riders, because all of them after the semi-finals are in action. Still not there. I would be getting, of course, from semi-final 1, I would be getting France 3 and Australia 2 in the first lift up to the top, so that the small final can get underway, and then USA and Australia can just wait a little bit longer, because we've got that first, well, we've got the small final to come. Well, a season that started in a snowboard cross actually back in August in Mount Hotham, coming to an end today. Looking back at some of those results from mid-August, Maya Billingham was in action. Australia with so many strong athletes, Josie Bath, of course, Mia Clift. Not all of the athletes heading down to the Southern Hemisphere for the winter season, but the first race in Europe was at the end of November. Europa Cups in Pitstall, and the World Cup season getting underway middle of December in Cervinia. So a long season, a lot of travel, and where the gaps were in the calendar, that's when you see athletes then dropping to from World Cup to Europa Cup, some going to NORAMs, of course, and just whatever really fits with the programs of the junior athletes. Some using it as an opportunity for a break and a little rest in the midpoint of the season as well. But at this stage of the season, everyone's pretty tired. Athletes would admit that, I'm sure. So still waiting on riders to get back to the top for the small final. But then everybody will be up there, and the racing getting back underway fairly soon. The team just using this as an opportunity again to keep working on the course ahead of the small and big finals. Really appreciate you if you've been with us all day long here, all race long. Individual competition and the team event. It's wonderful to have your company. See off the 2025 winter here on FIS TV in seriously good style. Well, there's the podium. Not too long. We've got the individual podium, of course, and the mixed team podium to come. I'm hopeful we're going to be able to stay with you for that one.
Was going straight. I look watch the video from the channel. And I saw Noemi.
Let's watch turn 1 extra closely when we get into the big final, shall we? Line deviation is, of course, one of the rules. You're not allowed to deviate from your line, but of course, in snowboard cross, everyone's fighting for position. A lot of wildlife in this part of the world as well. You get birds of prey. I know there's bears in the Pyrenees. I just have to check if there are European brown bears that have wandered over to this part of France. I don't think so. I'm sure someone will let me know. Small population of bears in the Pyrenees. I do think in northern Italy as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if one had wandered across. Well, that's the scene at the finish area. The crowds started building throughout the day here. Not the most pleasant of days. We'd love to have blue skies and sunshine, but unfortunately, this time of year, you just never quite know what the weather is going to do, especially as it can roll off of the Mediterranean. Bring some pretty unique weather, but in the season, in the winter, that can bring an awful lot of snow to this part of the world. So France 3 in the green bibs for the small final. think everybody all there. We can see Australia 2. McCarthy and Wilson. William McCarthy getting the gum shield in. Man out of Melbourne, Australia 2 Europa Cup top 20s this season. In the gate, just adjusting the handles. All of the gates have adjustable handles for the athletes so that they can get that gate set just how they like it. So I think the maintenance is done on the course, and the athletes all looking like they're in position for the small final. Canada 1 in yellow, Australia 3 in blue, France 3 in green, and Australia 2 in the red bibs. So William Martin and Lara Walsh, the Australia 3 team, Niels King and Fiona Keolo-Serra in green for France. France 3, Canada 1. Pairing of, do beg your pardon, Anthony Dumas-Gauvin and Hannah Turkington. Canada in the yellow bib, and we are about to get underway. So Australia 2 in red, France 3 in green, Australia 3 in blue, Canada 1 in yellow. So racing underway again. This is the small final, the first leg of the small final here at the World Junior Championships. Great start from France 3 with Niels King. He's got Australia 3 for company into the first turn, and it is Australia 3 in the lead. William Martin ahead of Niels King. Canada in third place at the moment. Australia 2. William McCarthy in fourth place. McCarthy did take a bit of a slam in the semi-finals. Oh, and Australia running close to the gates and that the nets, and that gives the advantage to King. And that Australia 3 team with a bit of work to do now, still holding on to second place. William Martin, but Canada closing in. Dumas-Gauvin, all very tight for the first 3 places. Australia 2 with William McCarthy a little bit further back. See Canada in the yellow bib have put together a pretty good series of races throughout this mixed team event. Dumas-Gauvin 14th in the individual competition, Turkington 18th. So the men will exit the finish area. And now it's over to the women to decide the small final. Wilson in red, 1.71 behind. Fiona Keolo-Serra in green will be first to go. Everybody underway now. Australia 3 battling with Canada for second spot, but Keolo-Serra with that advantage, and Turkington for Canada trying to squeeze across and shut the door on Australia 3. Lara Walsh in contention in third, but Abby Wilson, Australia 2 and Abby Wilson right back in the mix here. Jostling for position. France have the lead, Canada in second place. This, of course, the race for 5th place. And the 2 Australian teams do anything about it now. It doesn't look that way. They will just fight for 7th and 8th, but it's Turkington on the charge, trying to win the small final for Canada, and Turkington gets across the line first. That is a great result. A wonderful afternoon's riding from Turkington. She has been so impressive today. Yes, it's not a medal, but winning the small final, 5th place for Canada. Great result for them. Turkington battling with Keolo Serra into the first turn. At this stage, the two Australian teams are in touch, but across the line. It is Canada 1 who finish in 5th, France 3 in 6th, Australia 2 in 7th, Australia 3 in 8th place. One race to go. Then winter is over, kind of. It may still snow wherever you're watching, though. Mixed team final here at the World Junior Championships. They're in the gate. USA in the green bib. That's the gate Nathan Pair likes. Cholet, the winner this morning, in red. Turner in blue for Australia. Lauren Furrer in yellow for Switzerland. Finished 4th earlier today. These 4 men battling it out to see what sort of advantage they can hand over. And that is the first time that Cholet's been put under this much pressure into the first turn. What a start from Pair from the USA. Now Cholet having to work for it. Australia putting the pressure on Cholet as well. Turner in 3rd place, Furrer in 4th for Switzerland. That's where he finished this morning. Now Cholet on that toe edge, cutting a really nice line, but he's got nowhere to go. Gets on the inside here. Great pass from Jonas Cholet. Now France are in the lead. USA in 2nd place. Australia in 3rd. Furrer with a heavy landing there. It's going to be a long way back for Switzerland in this race. Bronze medal not out of the question yet. But Cholet put under a lot of pressure, and he responded in the second half of the course. What a start this was from Pair. He hands over to Snowboard for the second leg of this mixed team final. This is where Cholet's really got the speed. Over the line, Cholet with tiny advantage to hand over to Lea Casta. That's it, Jonas Cholet, your day, probably your season, has come to an end, but it's all eyes on the top of the hill. 0.23 between 1st and 2nd. Billingham 1.21 behind. She's got a 2nd over Naomi Wiedmer. So Casta, Snorbush underway, Billingham underway, Wiedmer underway as well. Casta, as she's done all race long, builds an advantage through the top section into the first turn. Snorbush, goofy-footed rider on the heel edge through that first turn. It's a tough turn on the heel edge, that's for sure, and Billingham putting Snorbush under pressure. Billingham's going to be on the inside into the next turn, and Billingham with a beautiful pass for Australia. She's already got the silver medal. Wiedmer closing in on Snorbush. And now the battle is on for silver and bronze. Billingham and Snorbush fighting away. Snorbush into 2nd place, but Lea Casta is going to cross the line and pick up another gold medal for France. 2nd goes to Australia, 3rd to the USA and Switzerland. It's a day of 4th places for Lauren Furrer and Naomi Wiedmer. They've been good, but just not good enough today. Australia celebrate the silver medal, USA the bronze, but Lea Casta and Jonas Cholet have been exceptional today, all race long, individual or team, it doesn't matter. Cholet and Casta, the standout athletes. That is now the 5th gold medal in World Junior Championship competition for Leah Casta. Great racing right to the line. Congratulations to Australia as well. And Maya Billingham, 2 medals today, 2 silvers. This time on the podium will be Cameron Turner as well. Fuhrer and Wiedmer, you really feel for them. 4th place, they've been good making it to the finals in both individual competitions and the mixed team, but it just wasn't to be today. 3 Australian teams in the top 8. Good day for the Canadians in the mixed team as well. 29 teams from 15 national ski and snowboard associations taking part in the mixed team competition, but it is France who celebrates another gold medal. The dream day for Chole and Casta. 2 golds each at these World Junior Championships. Well, the conversations will begin. The course will be cleared and the prize-giving ceremony, I'd imagine, getting underway pretty quickly. They can just give the athletes a few minutes to recover, maybe get jackets on if they want, and they'll roll pretty quickly on with the prize-giving ceremony here in Isola 2000 to wrap up the winter sports season. This is the last of the major events. A few more Alpine races going on, FIS races and things. All the World Cups, Europa Cups, World Juniors are all done. And the coaches who've been up there most of the day did get to pop down for lunch. And there was that gap between the 2 competitions today. It's worked, hasn't it? Bringing the event forward for a day. Just never know what we were going to, didn't quite know what we were going to get tomorrow with the weather. Long day for the athletes, just approaching 4 p.m. local time here in Isola 2000. And thankfully today, at least the weather holding off. So a day off for everyone tomorrow. And I'd imagine for the majority of the athletes, that is their season all done as well. As I was saying earlier, maybe a little bit of training, board testing, but particularly those that have been on the World Cup, been at the World Champs, and now here at the World Junior Championships, rest. It is so key, isn't it? You've got to rest up, and this is the best time of year to do it. And especially with those that have got one eye on the Olympic Games, Milano Cortina. You want to be fresh going into the season. You want the equipment to be right as well. And a lot of that work on the equipment will get done in the spring so that you go into that summer training block for those that go to the Southern Hemisphere. For those that are based in the Southern Hemisphere, you can really focus on maximizing the time on snow, getting